and thank you to have me here. I'm really happy to share with you that, some stuff on innovation on Sabre, and I'm super happy to be in Spain. Spain is one of my preferred places in Europe. I've got loads of memories, and I've been all over the place. Madrid, Barcelona, Malaga, Palma, Sevilla, Toledo, everything. I've got friends, I've got business partners, a wonderful team, and this is what I love. I'm here today, and it's not just, it's not just that Sabre is, that Spain is important to me, but it's important to Sabre as well. We have, we are committed to expand the business that we have here, and we are building new knowledge about this country. We are building new knowledge about the business that you drive every day, and new partnerships to make sure that we can bring a different approach, and we can really manage and support you in the future in expanding the marketplace of personalized offer. We have a very big team in Spain. There's, I learned today that we moved from the 40 that we had in the past to more than 50, and we are covering all the different verticals of Sabre, going from the airline side to the hospitality side and the agency side. The team is super talented, is super good, and they are exactly like I like, younger and energetic, and I'm sure that they are going to do great in the future, and even bring more diversity to the marketplace and more business to Sabre, of course. So let's talk about what is very important at the moment. We are in FITURTECHY. Fitur is a really nice platform because it's the first big trade show of the year, and it feels a little bit like we are launching the year at Fitur because it's the beginning. It's generally the beginning of the year, and this year is even nice because it is dedicated to Jules Verne. Jules Verne has been a visionary, has been a traveler, has been imagining things many years before they didn't happen. He was imagining the man to go to the moon. He was imagining the internet. He was imagining teleconferencing, the helicopter, the submarine. You can see the submarine there across the island. And he was thinking of all of this and imagining all of this in the second phase of the Industrial Revolution. And you know, I wanted to mention this to you because according to the economists, we are currently in Industrial Revolution 4.0. The era we live is very similar to the Industrial Revolution because loads of innovations that we couldn't even think years ago now are becoming reality. Imagine, artificial intelligence and machine learning, for example. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, they were still in research laboratories. And now they are behind the apps we use, behind the desktops and the smart technology that we used. They are all around the world, all around our life. They give us inspiration, they give us smart technology, they help us in building new experiences, and they help in pushing personalization to, the very far end. Sabre is, is a little bit like Jules Verne. They have a very strong track record in doing things first. We've been the first ones into launching the first automated reservation system. This was in the 60s. Maybe none of us in this room was there, but there was already a number one at first, a reservation system coming from Sabre. But that was just the beginning. We were the first ones in launching low fare search some 20 years ago. We were the first ones to launch corporate booking tools a few years after. And we have been the first ones into launching 2 years ago the AI-based technology for travel. And this is called Sabre Travel AI. Sabre Travel AI is using heavily the data that we collect at travelers' touch points every day and represent the backbone for our future growth and our future innovation. It's not something, can you hear me? Yes. It's not something that is standalone, but there are already products that we have deployed based on Sabre Travel AI. We have deployed, starting with airlines, but it will go into the travel agency flow very, very, very soon. 2 products. One is called Sabre Air Price AI, and it helps airline to make pricing dynamic. So no more the 26 booking classes that we're used to see in the display at the travel agencies, but the pricing becomes dynamic and becomes modulated and fed by the traveler's behavior and by the information that are gathered, while the airplane gets filled or empty. And the other one that is very much related to this is ancillary, Sabre Ancillaries AI. So, and it's able to support a proposition of an offering for ancillary, which is personalized to the needs and travel behaviors of a specific traveler that is receiving the specific traveler that is receiving that request. So we are providing solution to support the entire travel ecosystem. We are at the very center of the ecosystem. We are able to see how the technology is deployed worldwide, and we are able to customize our solutions based on what is happening and what is coming across us through data and through experience. So I mentioned before Sabre Travel AI, and Sabre Travel AI is something which is coming from the partnership that we have with Google. In 2020, we have signed an exclusivity partnership with Google. What does that mean? Exclusivity means that not only everything that we deliver and we develop with Google is going to be public, but the vast majority is going to stay with Sabre. So, and basically this partnership is articulated across 3 different areas. One is supporting the evolution of the Sabre infrastructure from legacy to cloud. You call it La Nube, I love it. And the second area of interaction with Google is implementing new systems, new tools, as we did with Sabre Travel AI and the related products that I was mentioning before. And the third is on innovation. So basically in our headquarters in Dallas, we have hundreds of Google engineers supporting us into this job. and many, many, many more things are coming across because this is going to be a 10 years partnership. And in the 7 years to come, 8 years to come, stay tuned. Loads is going to happen and loads new is going to come. So, the technology powered by the Sabre Travel AI. I told you about Air Price IQ and Air Ancillaries IQ. They give a world of opportunities to maximize revenue. Just imagine on the pricing side how everything can be dynamic and how it can help from an agency side, markups and new revenue opportunities, not only for airlines, but for the travel agencies as well. Pricing decisions based on what you want to, based on what you want, the customer you have in front of you, you can decide which options is better to offer and to be supported. And then, of course, this is going to create loyalty with the customer because everything gets more customized and everything gets more dedicated and more, and of course, more and more personal. So, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that we are much more than a GDS. We are much more than a technology company. We are much more than a global marketplace and a global processor. We are, I think, based on our innovation, the company that in the future is going to bring more solutions fitting into the traveler's need. We are at the center of this ecosystem of travel. We can see what is happening at any point in time of the process, and we are in an unparalleled position to collect shopping and demand data. And again, I couldn't repeat more times that data is what is driving the future. Now, I cannot speak in January 2023 without mentioning the P for pandemic word, because it's still very raw, it's still very, very, very close to our past, and we have been left with a number of challenges to deal with. Customers and travelers have been used to ask for more and more and more personalization. The competition has become, from competition of travel suppliers, has become more and more fierce, so they need to really fight for the business. We have been left with loads of operational challenges, and the pace of change has become much and much quicker. If we go a little bit on the demand for personalization, why is this going to become so important and so critical? Because if you look at the projection from now to 2030, the travel industry is going to grow to up to $450 billion, which from 2021 to 2030 is going to be approximately 80% CAGR, is a lot. And all the actors in the travel industry need to fight for catching and capturing a piece of that goodness. So this is why having the opportunities of providing tools for strengthening the personalization is very, very important. On the competition side, its suppliers need to align and be closer to what the traveler is requesting. Not that they don't do it now, but to capture that amount of business and that amount of growth that is coming in the future, is important to have different tools and different weapons on their side. And this need to be related to technology. It cannot be anything else. There is even another element that we need to consider here. Some of the existing travel players have the need to diversify as well and to change strategy as well. So during pandemic, we've seen many of them changing. I can give you the example of one of our customers in Israel, the ISTA travel group, that have expanded their business into, for example, into real estate side to make sure that they could support the travel side. So this is why, you know, competition is becoming even stronger. So, do you want to discuss a little bit of operational challenges? I think everybody knows what we went through in the past 3 years. Disruptions in airports, regulations changing from 1 minute to the other, passengers being in the need of discussing, of rebooking, reissuing, and so this is for sure something that will stay with us, and we will need to get used to this. Sorry, I messed it up a little bit, so I need to go back. And you know, the pace of change is something. Everything is going quicker, and we need to make sure that we have the technology to adjust and adapt and support this quick pace in change. On the operational challenges perspective, of course, who is at the very end of the process are the guys that need to manage those challenges. From a recent survey that we have launched some months back in 20 countries with 500 travel agencies, it has come up that 70% of the job, of the work that the travel agency does every day is on repetitive operational tasks. Keep in mind this 70%, because I will go back to this later on, because this is where one of the needs of us big technology provider need to focus on. So yeah. It's an important thing to keep in mind. One more. We are at the moment in the middle, and there was a panel yesterday that was stating this point. We are in the middle of a transition from travel to experience. So. Whenever we want to travel, we don't want to travel just to see something, but to have experiences. And you know, this transition needs to be supported by technology, because the current technology that we have is not really well suited to manage the experience complexity. Just another thing to remember for later, we have a P&R currently managing travel at the moment, and the P&R can have an earpiece, can have a lodging piece and a car piece probably, but experiences is not just made by an air piece, an hotel piece, and a car piece. Now, what do we need? What do we need in the future for managing the complexity of retailing? Imagine this experience. This experience piece that we want to have in our lives in the future. And imagine this poor P&R, which is very fixed. This is not what we need. This is not what is necessary to develop and to evolve. We need something which is much more flexible. We need something that can include a tour, can include an excursion, can include a visit to a specific coffee shop or a specific pub that there is in that specific city that we want to do. There is a piece of ground transportation that we want to add, which is, I don't know, a sightseeing of Madrid. And this is the structure that we have right now cannot do it. So how are we going to address that? I'm pretty sure that you heard the acronym NDC, which will bring and which is bringing right now a new way of distributing and retailing. Now, NDC is based on the concept of offer and order, and the concept of offer and order will be expanded by Sabre not just to NDC, but is the future of retailing and distribution, and is the elements that will support the transition from travel to experiences. So what I'm telling you now is that, the P&R is critically ill, and probably is going to die in the near future, maybe in the next 5, 6 years, 10 years. But let's be prepared to bury the P&R and make place for offers and orders. The way in which this is going to happen is not so easy. So let me ask for help to a friend and a colleague that is called Robbie Thomas. He is the Senior Director for Product Strategy in Sabre. And I want to share with you a little bit piece of a podcast that Robbie and Andrew Clark from the British Travel Association in the UK have done a couple of weeks back. Can you hear it?
Nobody's ever tasted before, or maybe they've only heard of.
Let's start again.
If I told you that I had this really new, cool cooking technology or capability, and it gave you 3 things. It gave you a brand new set of ingredients, so ingredients that nobody's ever tasted before, or maybe they've only heard of. It gave you some pretty cool recipes, again, that are exotic, maybe new, but that everybody loves, but nobody's been able to make those recipes because those ingredients are new. And then what if I said, hey, you could put those 2 things together and do it in a fraction of the time? So it gives you the opportunity to do it really fast. So here's this cooking technology with new ingredients, new recipes, and you can turn around and cook things for your friends in half the time. Like, that sounds pretty cool, right? Like, I would definitely sign up to do that, especially if somebody cooked it for me. But that's
I'm already in.
I'm not, exactly. So I couch, if you use that, I couch the kind of offer order opportunity the same way. On the ingredients, listen, participating in that and making sure you have the technology in place gives you access to the new content. We keep talking about kind of content fragmentation and those kind of things. I think the other thing was around new recipes. We talk about sort of the ability to cross-sell and upsell. And for me, I think so you can combine those, you can combine all the ingredients, all the content to make better offers, more compelling offers, unique offers for your channel. And so there's a near-term and a long-term aspect to that from my perspective. One is just the ability to start creating those tailored offers, make sure you have the content, and put offers together with some services that the agency may want. But how Sabre is thinking sort of I wouldn't even call it long-term, I think is mid-term, is then how do we make sure that the TMC customer has those same kind of capabilities, the same kind of technology that the airlines are leaning into, or they're using offer order, to start kind of creating their own content, to start creating their own custom offers, and then to be able to do that from an agency perspective and apply some truly dynamic price points, again, using some AI and ML. And then finally, just faster cooking thing that I talked about, that's really just speed of market, right? How do we react when content suddenly moves from one place to the next? The offer order infrastructure should help us help our customers get to that content faster and achieve those other goals more quickly. So, of course, none of that's happening overnight, but it's going to be a transition period. And again, not to make it too much of a sales pitch, but that's what we do, right? We're here to partner with our customers to make sure that they can get through that transition and see the benefits of beyond NDC, beyond offer and order.
So I hope that Robbie, with the analogy of a recipe and with the cooking, and cooking has given you a little bit more insight on how we want to evolve from now to the future. And actually, Robbie has given something more, has given out something more, and has given out our willingness to move from something which is very narrow and very shallow content that we have now to a multi-source capabilities where basically content is aggregated, content coming from all over the place. It could be, as I was saying before, content, there is, okay. Could be, as I was saying before, content coming from a full-service airline, from a low-cost airline, but for an entertainment activity, from a tour, so all sorts of content can be integrated together and can be serviced by a technology infrastructure, which we are building right now in our Beyond NDC program. Now, I'm pretty sure you remember the 70%, so you will have in the back the split of what this 70% means. And 70% of the day is a lot. 70% of the day means that this poor travel agency is always firefighting, is always doing stuff that is boring, and basically doesn't have time to talk to customers and learn and explain about new products and learn about new possibilities and evolve from being a travel agency to become a travel consultant by upselling, cross-selling, and offering different opportunities to their customers. So this is where we need to act right away. Not necessarily with a big deal of innovation, but with a big deal of tools and products and technology that can solve their life. So, and this is why one of the best-selling pieces of products that we are delivering to the market right now is something that we call Automation Hub, where all those repetitive tasks like rebooking, like managing queues, like reissuing, pretty boring stuff, can be supported and automated at the back, freeing time to the travel agency, giving them the opportunity to become travel consultant, and supporting the generation of more revenue with different activities. So they're pushing me, but I'm almost at the end. So I have what I have been talking to you today is how Sabre is approaching innovation, what we will be doing for the future, how we will be extending our marketplace to support the transition from travel to experience, how, based on our own idea, the PNR is going to be dead in a few years to make space to offers and orders approach. And before I leave you, everybody's telling me time, so I need to make quick, but you can see that I can talk. I want to remember another very important person that was a visionary, but this time a Spanish one, which I feel very similar to, and this is Don Quixote. And another traveler, another resilient traveler in finding different solutions to approach problems. I think we need to be a little bit, all of us, Don Quixotes in the future, without the windmills, okay? We need to really solve problems, not fighting against the windmills, and find creative solutions for the future. Now, if you give me 1 more minute, I've got one more video to share with you, which is in a nutshell why we all enjoy the place we are and why we do this job. Thank you so much to everybody. Thanks for listening to me. And if you have any question, you can find me there for the next half an hour. Well, after half an hour, because now we have some other very important person from Sabre. Thank you.